Hey friends, we are multitasking today. This is what I do with them. Always idle them quite a bit before I put a bar on them or anything. Just let them do their thing. If they're going to do something, I'd rather they do it idling than in the wood, if you guys know what I mean. Anyhow, so I've just been running Hogan's saw here. Seems to be, I mean, knock on wood, it seems, you see how it starts. So, anyhow, back to the bench. Here you guys go, that's part of my break-in. I literally just put Hogan's saw together. And just dropped one of my bar nuts for this in the oil. Oh well. Okay, so that's what I do. I start them, I let them idle a bit before I do anything. Then I'll usually pull the muffler off and make sure nothing unhappy is going on. Sometimes you get a piston, friends, that just isn't happy. When you grind plating and that, you never know, right? Most of them are good, but once in a while you get one that's unhappy. And if you get one that's unhappy, I'd rather it be unhappy sitting idling, because usually you don't do any damage then, right? But so I'll run that saw a bit and check it and make sure everything's good. That saw, there's a few things I still want to fix on it. The kill switch is questionable at times. It works sometimes, but not others. So I'm probably just going to put a new kill switch in it. And the coil wire is a little frayed, so I think I'm going to put a new coil in that saw. But anyhow, for the time being, since I can't really run that yet, I'm still heat cycling it. Well, we lost that clip again. How many times are you going to lose that clip? Probably every time. 357 is here on the bench. I still got cutting to do. It's still that time of the year. And I want to get this thing ready for doing work. But before I can do any work with this saw, I want to pull the muffler, first of all, just to see what the piston looks like. I can't remember, but I have a feeling this thing's going to have some slight scoring. The auto decomp is leaking on this saw. I can see it, and I'll show you guys that. So, for the time being, though, I want to see what I got here. I always want to know what I'm starting with, and then go from there, right? I am probably going to port this saw. Not probably, I will port this saw, friends. I have some ideas. I may go down a completely different rabbit hole on this one. But first, I want to run it stock. I want to see what these things are all about stock. If you don't run a saw stock, it's hard to know what it does and what it doesn't. Now, I have a feeling, because this saw has crank stuffers, this saw is going to be a screamer. There we go. Let's pull this muffler off here. The pulse is all the way out. I have a feeling this saw is going to be a screamer. The 359's got more grunt. I would have been happy either way, 359 or 357. Oh yeah, so we got a little mark on the piston. It's not on the rings though, so yeah, whatever. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Oh, that one bolt's stuck in there. Okay, so this muffler does have, okay, it has a huge divider in it and one hole. Oh, I see. So friends, there's a hole on this side. The air has to go through it, around, into a pipe here and out there. That's not good for airflow. We'll see what we can do with that at a later date. I'm going to run this thing stock. So I see why it's so quiet. Fella could put another outlet right here though if he wanted to, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just make a pipe for this thing. Okay, well, the piston doesn't look horrible. There is a rub mark on it. It's not so badly scored as it is discolored. Let's see what else we got here. Also pull the spark plug on this thing. Just doing busy work this week, friends. I'm still kind of feeling under the weather. And, I mean, I'm on the mend and I'm feeling a lot better. Plug's nice and brown. Here, I'll show you guys that. So the saw doesn't look like it's been running lean. There, let's put the light on for you guys. There you go. See that nice brown color? Doesn't look like it's been running lean. So that's a good sign. I always check the cylinder bolts. Always. Because you never know, right? Now these are tight. Nah, we're good. Okay, so what I want to do to this saw today is fix the known issues. These saws got a little bit of a bad rap for the automatic decomp leaking. I'll just put this plug back in so nothing gets in there. The automatic decomp leaks in these saws. Also, these saws had a lot of carb issues. I can't remember where I seen it. I think on a Fleet Command on Walt's channel there, they were doing a comparison of all the models on this chassis, the Johnson Reds and that. This carb doesn't have a vent hole. I'll bring you guys in and show you that. Because it's something to be aware of. These carbs, if you look here, they don't have a vent hole on the diaphragm here. Notice that? There's no vent hole. So what can happen, apparently these are vented through the side. They can actually become under vacuum almost, and that diaphragm doesn't move. So interesting scenario. Also, this saw is original. It still has the plastic clamp on the intake. We want to get rid of that. So I'm going to fix that today, and I'm going to try and rig up something to fix this decomp. So before I run the saw, I don't want to blow the saw up stock, and I might just end up porting the OEM top end. So round and round we go. Let's take off the wrap that I put on in the last video. I might just pull the carb, the wrap. I might end up having to pull the top end. Just depends really on what I find or whether I can get that clamp in there. I have never worked on one of these, friends, so if I was a smart man, which I'm not, I would have phoned Donnie Walker, my friend there in BC, and said, Donnie Walker, how do I replace the clamp on one of these? And he would tell me, but that Donnie Walker, friends, if you haven't been to his channel, he's complete opposite of me. He's a professional. I'm the do-it-yourselfer. He's one of the good folks at Walker's Saw Shop in Nanaimo. They are in Canada, and I guess in North America in general, they're huge in the logging industry. A lot of saws come out of there. Donnie Walker's just ported a bazillion saws, but if you guys are interested in what goes wrong with these saws, stock and that, go to his channel. He's always throwing good info up. He's working on these saws all the time. I'm going to pull this off because I think I'll be able to see a little bit better what's going on here, because the decomp's under there. Okay, so I see. So this is hose goes to here, and there's a little clamp. So I might be able to plug that hose with something. Don't know what yet. I'm doing this, I'm shooting from the hip on this video, friends. But yeah, so these decomps leak. They're super well known for that. You guys can see here. There you go. Okay. That's not the pair of pliers I wanted. These ones. See, and these are just held on by this. Okay. And what happens to these is they leak all the time. I I hear, and I have no first-hand knowledge, I hear these decomps took out a lot of these saws back in the day. Which gave them a bad rap. They're not as common as other saws. You know what, friends? I think I'm just going to take this whole top end off. That way I can fix this properly and we can look inside it. Doesn't look like too much of a deal to change it. Fuel lines seem good on the saw. So I'll pull these fuel lines off. This one. Of course it's leaking. We'll get a screw for that. Give me a second here, friends. I'm going to start taking this top end off. Okay, well, I'm just digging in. I have no clue the order of operations to take this apart. But here I am. This is how you learn, right? Okay. Carb is loose. So looks like different kind of wiring in this. It's 576 like. Okay, pull that out. Yeah, so this is the new style. I've worked on these before. Okay, pull that off. Pull that off. And then that and this. Okay, and that takes the carburetor off. There's a little clip in there. Holds the carb on. There you guys go. There's a removed carb. With the little blue piece in there. Okay. Well, yeah, friends. So this is how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna plug all these holes and really get in there now and clean this up. Okay, I brought this thing outside. I'm gonna pull this off. Impulse line attaches to the bottom there. I know, why are you taking apart a running saw? I don't know, why not? Why not, friends? Why not? I want to see what makes this machine run. I may do a base gasket delete to this right away because, well, friends, I don't have a gasket. At least I don't think I do. Let's check the squish. Might as well check it while we're ready to rock and roll, right? Oh, there we go. Ooh, this thing's just full of mung inside. Okay, let's zero this. 36 thousandths is what I'm getting roughly. Huh, maybe we have a 15 thousandths base gasket. I don't know, let's find out. If not, I'll either make or order a base gasket. I want to tear this thing down, friends, and have a look at the top end. I just want to make sure it's healthy before I go any further with it. You never know with an old saw like this, right? She's dirty. I like the dirty ones though. The dirty saws usually clean up really nicely, that oil. Oh, great. Yep. Looks like we have a, one of the cylinder bolts is not going to want to come out. That's always fun. Just wake it up a little bit. There we go. See, friends, never force anything. If it doesn't go on the first go, tap it. There we go. Good, because I didn't want to have a stripped bolt party today. That's never a party that I like joining. I'll join in if it's already stripped, but I don't like stripping cylinder bolts. Okay, we got one more here, looks like. Okay. There we go, friends. There's that piston. You guys can see right there. It's got a mark on it. Funny though, you can't really feel it. Now, look at the carbon. Look how dirty the bottom of this thing is. Wow. Look at that, friends. I just wiped that off of the crank stuffer. You guys can see in there. See how black it is? So, let's see what the top end looks like. Wow. So, friends, some of you are going to hate me for this, but that's okay. I just calls it like I sees it. Hold on, I'm pulling the bolts out of here. Friends, use good oil. See that? Use good oil in the right amount. See how dirty this thing is inside? Black, dirty. Okay. It's got some wear on the intake side. You guys can see how shiny that is, but otherwise it's good. We'll throw this thing back together. Now, cylinder gasket. If I can get a measurement off of it. Okay. Let's take this right here. 17 thou. And what did we have? We had 38 thou, 37 thou. So if I take that out, I should have about 20 thou squish, 21, 22 with my moto seal. So that's what we're going to do. So this saw will not be stock anymore. But okay, I'm going to clean this cylinder up real good. I'm probably going to rinse out this bottom end. I'm going to clean the piston. I'm going to make this thing nice before we do any more work to it. Just give me a second here. Okay, so as you guys can see, I scraped, I don't know, 10, 20 thousandths of carbon off the top of this saw. Now, another thing is, friends, it may not just be the oil. Some saws, especially around the yard saws, don't get hot, so they never burn the carbon off. That could also be the case with this saw. So, okay, so I scraped everything I could get off. I rinsed out the bottom end. The bottom end's black. It's very dirty. Now this could be a case of this saw needs a new ring. We could be getting blow-by on the ring back into the carb. But here, friends, check this out. Look, I'm looking at this hose here. Look. Good thing I didn't run this saw, eh? So the decomp is completely toast on this thing. You guys see that? There, I'll show you guys one more time. Look at that. This thing was running like that, so I'm really glad I didn't put this in the wood. Okay, I'm going to grab a seat and see if I can figure out a way to plug this. I'm going to pull this 90 out of here and see what thread it is. Maybe I have something to cap that with. And then this should, and I'm not even sure, friends, but this should be a standard decomp hole. And I can just put a plug in that side. Okay, so here's what I found. Turn your light back on. So there's a carburetor fitting in there, a 90 just pressed in. It was kind of loose, friends. So I tapped. I got to blow that out still, but I tapped some threads into there. Number 10, 32 threads per square inch or per inch. Okay, and then I just cut down a bolt. I'm going to put that in there with some leak lock. Any of you in the refrigeration business know what this is. This is good stuff. And then I'll put a decomp in there. And then I think we're good to go. We'll throw this thing back together. I'll put the new clamp on, and we should have a running saw. Okay. Again, put a little leak lock on here. Leak lock seals everything. Done. It's kind of like the stuff we use to glue together cylinders, friends, but it's for refrigeration. It's completely resistant to chemicals, heat. So, okay, I'll just snug that in. There, good to go. Okay, now I'll snug down the other side, and that fixes that problem. I wanted to show you guys this, just in case you get one. If you get one of these, make sure you check the decomp out and the intake. Those plastic intake clamps are bad news. Now, funny story, I was going to order one, and our friend Al here at the channel, Al gave us a bunch of parts the other week there, and what's in there? A clamp for one of these, so no problem. Okay, and another thing I did, I scotch braided the inside. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just to make sure there's nothing there. I saw a little black mark that corresponded with the black mark on the piston. It's probably more like a piece of carbon come off, but so that's all good. Next thing I'm going to do is fix the intake. Probably going to replace this impulse line. But we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. So let me find that new intake clamp that Al hooked us up with. Thank you, Al. You just made my whole day, buddy. Okay, so here's the OEM. These are what these came with. this plastic clamp. Interesting. So what do I do here? Hold on, friends. Okay, so I'm a little lost. Again, never worked on one of these, never run one. Here's the original plastic clamp, okay, right here. It is part of this impulse boot arrangement. So I believe this is the updated clamp, but what I don't know, friends, is how does that, is there an upgraded impulse line mount? Maybe you guys know. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this back together how it was. I'll just put some Moto Seal around and glue this thing on and then put the clamp back down. Because if I cut this clamp off, friends, I won't have any way to attach it to this. So I can't really figure out how it works. So I'm just going to glue that together. Give me 2 seconds. We can always fix it at a later date for all the time it takes to pop a top end off. Okay, little Moto Seal. Pop this back on. Push this back down like that and grab my pliers. Hopefully I can get this to pop back together. There we go. Okay, I'm putting my Moto Seal on. I scuffed this with some Scotch-Brite, cleaned it with brake clean and a rag, scrubbed it all down. You could still see the old gasket, the coloration from it. It's actually stained the cases. Okay, put some on cylinder. Okay, put a little oil in the cylinder. This is a single ring piston. I can tell that this thing was built to be a hot rod. It's got all the go fast moves that a guy would do to make a 2-stroke fast out of the box. It's basically, from what I can see, friends, it's just a miniature 372. Okay, well, that wasn't so bad. My cylinder bolts in. Like I said, friends, I think I'm going to leave this thing the way it is for now. I'm going to leave the carb even. This thing seems to run okay. I will take the limiters off. But I don't think I'm going to do any more modding. I want to see how this thing runs. Unfortunately, I am going to have to take the intake off again. But that's just how she goes, right? Okay, I'll do these up slowly and carefully, and I'll get back to you guys when I have this thing more or less together. Okay, here's the 357. Hopefully it has a noticeable 4-stroke now. I richened the carburetor. Let's see how this thing starts. runs way better at 4 strokes. See, I was playing with the low jet, just getting it as snappy as I can get it. Friends, this thing has all kinds of compression now, so there you guys go. 357 XP, ready for the wood pile. Next time we go cutting, this is going to come along. Friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. I really like this saw, it's cool. Later.